What if I told you that your soul is not just an abstract idea, not just something you have, but something you are? Something that is woven into the very structure of reality itself, repeating in patterns, growing, expanding, and evolving, just like the universe itself. From a fractal consciousness theory perspective, the soul is not separate from existence. It is a self-similar pattern, a reflection of the whole contained within every part of you. This isn't just a mystical idea, it's something that ancient religions, philosophy, and even science have been pointing toward for centuries. Hello, my name is Christopher Keel, armchair philosopher and your autodidactic guide to our fractal universe. Today we're going to explore what the soul really is. Not from a dogmatic perspective, not from a single religious doctrine, but from a universal perspective. We're going to look at what history, science, and philosophy all suggest about the true nature of the soul and how this understanding changes everything about the way we see ourselves and our connection to the universe. So let's begin with the oldest question. What is the soul? Many traditions describe it differently, but the essence remains the same. The Hindu Upanishads say Atman is Brahman, meaning the individual soul is not separate from the divine whole. It is simply a smaller expression of it. In Kabbalah, the soul is described as a divine spark, an emanation of the infinite, infinitely unique, but still part of the totality. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus asked, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his soul?" Suggesting that the soul is not something material, but something essential, something priceless, something beyond form. But what does this mean in the context of fractal consciousness? If the universe itself is fractal in nature, if galaxies, neurons, coastlines, and even time itself follow recursive, self-similar patterns, then wouldn't the soul be the same? Wouldn't consciousness itself follow these same fractal blueprints? Imagine a tree. Each branch looks like the whole. Each leaf holds the pattern of its structure. You're no different. Your soul is not just something inside of you. It's an echo of the infinite, a fractal reflection of the source from which everything comes. Think about music. A single note means nothing without context. But when arranged in harmony, it becomes something greater. Plato described the soul as a harmony, a structured mathematical resonance that echoes through existence. If the universe is made of frequency, vibration, and pattern, then the soul is not just an abstract thing, it's a living, resonant part of this grand cosmic symphony. Now let's talk about how this applies to you. If your soul is a fractal, if it is part of a greater pattern, then it means that everything you do, every choice you make, isn't just random, it's part of a greater unfolding. Every experience you have, every emotion you feel, every challenge you face is part of your personal fractal path, an opportunity to evolve, to refine, to expand. The Gnostic texts speak of the soul's journey as a process of remembering, as if we were waking up from a deep sleep, realizing we are connected to something far greater than we'd ever imagined. So what happens after we die? Now this is where things get even more fascinating. Many traditions describe the soul as something that never truly dies. In Buddhism, it is reincarnation, an ongoing cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, refining consciousness across lifetimes. In ancient Egyptian teachings, the Ka and Ba, the two aspects of the soul, were believed to continue their journey beyond death. From a fractal perspective, this makes sense. If consciousness is a pattern, if the soul is an emergent property of the universe's recursive nature, then it's not something that simply ends, it is something that transforms like a wave moving from one form to another, never truly disappearing. Imagine a drop of water falling into the ocean. It may seem to disappear, but in reality it merges back into something greater. But does it ever truly lose itself? No. That drop is still part of the whole, It simply changes form. The soul, from a fractal consciousness perspective, does the same. It may shift, change, evolve, but is never lost. It is part of the infinite, just like it has always been. Let's talk about something that beautifully illustrates this concept. Mandalas. Mandalas have been used for thousands of years across different spiritual traditions, from Hinduism and Buddhism to Native American and Celtic traditions. The word mandala itself means circle in Sanskrit, and it represents wholeness, unity, and infinity. But more than that, mandalas are fractal structures. They contain repeating patterns that spiral inward and outward, just like the universe itself, just like the soul itself. When Buddhist monks create mandalas out of sand, they are illustrating the temporary nature of reality. Each intricate pattern is made with care, only to be swept away in the end. A reminder that form is fleeting, but the essence remains the same. The soul, like a mandala, is constantly being created, erased, and reformed in new ways. It is never static, never fixed, but always part of a greater flow. Think about how you see mandalas in nature: the petals of a flower, the arrangement of a snowflake, the spiral of a seashell, the spiral of sunflowers. Each one follows the same recursive fractal geometry. The same is true for you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your life experiences, they all form a complex, evolving mandala. And at the center of the mandala, your soul, the eternal pattern within you that is constantly unfolding and expanding. So what does this mean for us while we're alive? It means that the way we live, the way we treat others, the way we cultivate our own self-awareness, it all matters. If our soul is a fractal, then everything we do ripples outward, influencing the larger pattern of reality. This is why love, kindness, and consciousness expansion are so important. They're not just moral ideals, they're essential components of our fractal evolution. In the end, the soul is not something to be owned or possessed. It is something to be lived. It is something that moves through us as we move through it. The more we align with the natural flow of the universe, the more we recognize that we are not separate. We are part of something vast, something intelligent, something beautifully infinite. Now, if this resonates with you, if you want to explore this idea further, then I encourage you to check out my new book, Fractal Healing, Reclaiming the Pieces of Yourself Through Love, Loss, and Growth. This book is about navigating the fractal nature of reality on a personal level, how to break free from old patterns, heal, and realign with your highest self. But if you're someone who wants to dive deeper into the science behind it all, how fractal reality works on a fundamental level, from consciousness to quantum gravity, then my book, The Conscious Dance, Quantum Gravity, Fractals, and the Fabric of Reality is for you. Both are available on Amazon and Kindle. And if you want to be part of the larger conversation, follow me on Facebook at Fractal Consciousness Theory. And you can also find me on YouTube at Christopher Keel. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below on how you see the soul. And as always, stay curious. I'll see you next time.